Hello, welcome to episode 26 of Let's Talk Immigration. I'm turning on Telegram. I think I'm turning on Telegram. Yes, it's here. Is it? Great. Okay, so I've done that part. If you're just joining now, welcome. Episode 26 of Let's Talk Immigration. First thing I want to talk about is DV 2024 entrance. On this Saturday, May 6th, you will be able to go to dvprogram.state.gov and see whether or not you are a DV 2024 winner. Okay. This is what that website looks like. See, it says noon Eastern District time. That's DC time on May 6th, which is this Saturday. And so this is the box that you'll use to check your status to find out if you are a DV 2024 winner. Okay. So two things I wanted to talk about that. The first one is after you find out you're a winner, do not rush to submit the DS260. I want you to rush on finding the information you need and getting it together so that you can complete the DS260, but do not rush to click that submit button. If you have any questions, you need to go through the instructions, find the answer in the instructions before you click that submit button or rely on your attorney. The reason is because after you click that submit button, you are locked into those answers unless you want to later unlock the DS260. It is my view, that's not shared by all, but it is my view that unlocking the DS260 will put you at risk at delaying your visa interview, which could sabotage your visa journey. I have support for that in declarations that the government has filed in our litigation, and I feel strongly about it. So I want everyone who, before you submit your DS260, be very sure about your answers before you click submit, okay? That's the first tip. Second tip for DV 2024 entrance. Not a tip, just something fun. This learning that you won the DV lottery could change your life. And so this is something that I recommend that you record, okay? So if you're checking the DV lottery yourself online, have a friend or family member hold up a phone and take a video of you while you learn the reaction so that your kids and grandchildren can see your reaction the moment your family's life changed dramatically, right? Because it means that your journey goes from one continent to another in most cases. So, I mean, to be clear, not everybody that wins the DV lottery is issued a visa. Not everybody gets an interview, but it puts you on that path. So it's a good thing. So anyway, I just think that that's a memorable moment and nobody thinks to record it. And I would love it if some of the DV 2024 entrants that won the lottery actually had videos of that experience, of that moment, because I think it's really exciting. Okay. So I've got that out there. And the next thing, I'm just going to go, let me see if there's anything I want to talk about. We're having a lot of success with mandamus lawsuits for people that are stuck in AP. Okay. Mandamus lawsuits for other situations and other categories, we're still having success, but not near the success with people stuck in AP. Mandamus lawsuits are extremely successful if you're stuck in AP. And Morrison Urena charges $4,000, which is a value for a mandamus lawsuit for most visa categories that are stuck in administrative processing. We have so much experience in this because before the Biden administration took this on the road and started doing it at multiple embassies, it was just Iranians and Yemenis and sometimes Syrians. And so we've been doing it during the Trump administration. We know this part of the law very well at Morrison Urena. So you can always talk to anybody on our team or me if you want to move forward or have more questions about a mandamus lawsuit ever. Okay. Okay, great. So let me go to the Q&A section. Okay, let's do that. This question was from earlier today, I think. Mr. Morrison, how are you doing? Please tell me, is it possible that the judges have forgotten about DV 2020-21? Hi, Vladimir. No. Judges don't forget about cases. They have hundreds or thousands of cases, and they get to be the ones to prioritize. They are in the best position to prioritize which decision they do first, and we don't get involved in that. Okay, we don't try to interrupt it. We don't try to influence it. We just need to let them do their job, and we do our job. Okay, so okay, another question. If I'm not mistaken, I really hope it means that it started to process DV 2021 cases for all cases or just previously assigned cases to this USMC. I do not understand the context of this question because you're referring to something that happened. Whatever it is, the answer is no, because DV 2020 and 2021 cases are frozen until the outcome of the appeal. Nothing will happen on those cases until we beat the appeal. James says, good evening, Mr. Morrison. Good evening, James. Okay, so if you have any questions, I'm going to end early if we don't have questions. You can drop those onto YouTube, or you can drop those onto Facebook, or you could drop those onto Telegram, and Godinez can copy paste them here. So if you have questions, let me know and I'll answer them. Okay, we've got one from YouTube here. My family is waiting for a CR1 interview from January 2023. I don't know how long does it take to get an interview. Hi, Zachariah. You did not give me your U.S. embassy. If you're waiting on an interview at Madrid, you are not waiting. It's just a month. If you're waiting on an interview from Islamabad, it could be a couple years or more. So it really and I assume January 2023 is your DQ date. Don't know that for sure. So there's two pieces of information I need to know. I need to know what embassy you're waiting on, and I need to know what is your DQ date. For people that didn't know that acronym, I didn't know it a couple years ago. DQ means documentarily qualified, also known as documentarily complete. It means that NVC has determined that all your papers are in order. Okay. That the paperwork that you submitted looks good. Okay. Omar has a question on YouTube. Any updates on this lawsuit? Which lawsuit is that, Omar? I need specific questions where you tell me what you're talking about. Okay. We have hundreds of lawsuits. Okay, if this works, we can have people together and keep filing lawsuits to clear the backlog. Omar, I'm not sure. I need more information, which lawsuit you're talking about. Okay. Hussein says, I'm DV 2020 and I have been rejected due to Proclamation 9645. Okay, that happened a long time ago, Hussein. Okay. Will I have a chance to get my visa from Gomez case since my case number is less than 4,500? Okay. It's a compound question there. You will have a chance to get a Gomez visa, but it's not a guarantee, and your case number is not necessarily the thing that would determine it. Also, the prior refusal under 9645 sounds like it would be a prejudice against you, but I think it's an advantage because you've already been interviewed at the embassy. So when they want to issue these 9,095 reserved visas after we beat the appeal, your case will be one of the easy ones to issue, in my view, because they've already interviewed you, right? So you've got a disadvantage in that you have whatever the cause of the vetting for the 9645, probably your nationality. They may put you through vetting again because of that, but you've got an advantage in that you've already had an interview. Most Gomez class members have not had an interview. You're in a small category there, and I think that's an advantage. Your case number is not bad either, so that's also another advantage you have, but there's no guarantees ever. Okay. Berkey asks, hello, first of all, thank you for making such a post. My problem is this. The embassy in Ankara is making the progress go very slowly for the DV 2023 winners. I agree. How do you think the process goes? It goes very slowly. I agree with you. Don't know what more I can say on that. If you have a more specific question, you can follow up with another question because I agree with you. It is going very slowly. Excuses that they've used in other litigation, they blame COVID still. They blame the closing of Kabul. They blame the earthquake, and they blame their understaffing, which I don't understand. That's their own fault, right? Like if you go to McDonald's and they can't cook your food and say that they're understaffed, well, that's their fault for not hiring people to cook food. So anyway, but they still blame. They say, oh, no, we don't have enough people, as if they have no control over that. Drives me crazy. Okay. Abdu has a question. I watched a video of the Impact team yesterday, okay, and someone asked if Ray and Go cases were transferred from KCC to Embassy. They said that was false, and they looked very surprised by that question. Well, Abdu, if that is the case, I think that they have made a mistake, okay? And we're going to solve that problem together, okay? And the way I'm going to do that is I am going to share my screen. This is the website for Morrison Urena. If you go over here, you could see a menu and Diversity Visa 2021. And let me see where this would be. Ray. Okay, so the last, something's not right there. That should not say 2021. The government filed a report, a status report, and for some reason, it doesn't appear to be where I thought it should be. Oh, this is the appeal. That's why. I need to be looking down here. Aha. Okay. Ray, defendant status report. This is the government. This is the State Department status report. And of course, I'm not sharing the right screen. So present, share screen, share screen. Okay. Oh. As of July 8th, 2022, CST, I forgot what CST means. the Consular Systems and Technology in the Bureau of Consular Affairs. Has completed the necessary IT system modifications to process DV cases from prior years, and the software has been uploaded to all consular posts overseas that process DV cases. Software has been uploaded to all consular posts that process DV cases. As part of that modification, the department deployed 36,872 DV cases from fiscal year 2020 and 2021. They deployed them. Okay, so deploy, to move, to bring, move into position for military action. Okay, so basically, I feel strongly that those cases are no longer at KCC because I just read a government declaration where they have told the court that they have been deployed. It's my belief that they have only deployed the Gomez class members, the Ray and the Go cases, and not the Good Luck, because the Good Luck, we haven't won summary judgment yet. But there's some confusion there because many of the Good Luck plaintiffs are eligible for Ray visas because Ray is not dependent upon who the plaintiffs are. It's dependent upon the embassy selected on DS-260. A little confusing. Okay, thank you for that question, though, or letting me know that there was some misunderstanding. Okay, DV 2020. Does the appeal judge have any time limits in sort of cases? Okay, first of all, it's not a judge. It's a judge panel. It's 3 judges, okay? There's 3 of them. Is he actually, it's not all men. I think 2 of the judges are men and 1's a woman. Allowed are able to keep thinking about it 3 or 10 years more. Okay, I don't think, okay, before I get to this last part of the question, there's some misunderstanding here about what's happening. We have a lawsuit. We have a 3-judge panel. This is not the only appeal of a lawsuit before that 3-judge panel. There are hundreds of cases that they have to consider. They are not sitting around thinking about the case. They are working very hard on multiple appeals, not just this one, but this is one of the more complex ones that they have because the government raised some complex legal issues, made some crazy arguments, but it's more than just one issue, right? It's like there are 4 or 5 issues common, 4 issues common in all the appeals, but then there's a little different in different appeals. So it's not a simple appeal, and they're not just thinking about it, okay? But you say, can they do it for 3 or 10 years or for the next 5 years? Yes, they could. They're not going to. That doesn't happen. Decisions from appeals do not last 3, 5, 10, 20 years. I'm really tired of hearing people say stuff like that and speculate about it on the internet because it just doesn't happen. Does the judge have authorities to do it? Yes, they can. They're not going to do that, okay? When the opinion is ready, they'll publish it. And we'll know that it's ready because they published it. I want to add, I'm not going to speculate when that's going to happen. I realize that others have speculated recently about that, and I don't want to. I only speculate about things I have information to guide my speculation, and I don't have that here. We have to accept that we don't know when it will be, okay? Massanissa says, generally ask questions about Good Luck, but today I have a question from DV 2023 friend. Great. Do you think the visa bulletin will go current before September 30th? Related to what I just said, I can't speculate about things I don't know. I don't know. In the old days, we had, by the old days, I mean when Charlie Oppenheimer worked at the State Department, and he controlled the visa bulletin. He would make videos, and you could sort of read the tea leaves. You could sort of predict what's going to happen based on what he said, although he didn't talk about the DVs much once we started suing. But in this case, we don't have enough information to know that. Just got to find out. Is Paris a good embassy for DVs? Yes. Okay, in DV 2020 case, we proved that President have ordered government officers to break the law. Almost. We didn't prove that the president himself made the order. We just know that Secretary Blinken and the State Department usurped authority that they did not have. We don't know who gave that order, really, but that's an interesting point that no one has ever brought up. And really, I don't think it was Trump, because he wasn't really smart enough to understand the DV program. It involves numbers. I just don't think that he had anything to do with it. I think that it was advisors advising Secretary Pompeo, probably Stephen Miller had some influence over it. Okay, if we win the Gomez case, is this going to be subject for a new case, or is it already? Okay, I don't project that there's going to be a new case. Okay, it's very rare that one lawsuit spins into another lawsuit. What happens is if something goes wrong in one lawsuit, it's amended or something. DV 2020 is unique because that lawsuit is technically closed. We won. Okay. Sometimes I get an email from a DV 2020 selectee in Mohammed, Fong Chong, or Kennedy and says, I want to withdraw my claims. I want to be dismissed from the case. And I'm like, you can't. It's too late. We already won. However, the Biden administration appealed our victory. But we already got summary judgment in DV 2020. This case is beyond that. So if something goes wrong in the implementation, we just go back to the judge, because he's still held on to the authority to see that his order is implemented. So we just go back to the judge. Okay. We would not do a new case. That would not be a new case. Our judge, by the way, you all know who he is pretty awesome. I just shared on Twitter a thread that explains some of the things that he said today in an order of a trial of somebody that was trying to overthrow our government in January 6th. And I think he did a very good job. Okay. Burke says, don't get me wrong, but your comments are very valuable to us. We don't want our dreams to disappear. You're an extremely effective lawyer. Thank you, Burke. I'm not going to get you wrong. I like what you're saying. Say more of that. Hussein, could a 212F refusal be appealed for cases refused to Proclamation 9645? Okay. I'm not sure I understand the question. I understand your situation. You were refused under 212F. But right now, there's no visas available, so there's nothing you can do about that. You have to wait till we beat the appeal. After we beat the appeal, there's 9,095 Gomez visas available. Hopefully, you'll get one. If you don't get one, no, it's over. So hopefully, you'll be issued one of those 9,095 visas. I don't think 212F or Proclamation 9645 will impact your case now, okay? For two reasons. 9645 has been rescinded on January 21st, 2021 by President Biden. And there are no active 212F refusals really impacting DVs. So I don't think either of those things are something you need to worry about. Okay. Can you discuss our grievance with the relevant people in the coming days? Our chances are decreasing with each passing hour. I don't know, Barke, who our grievance is. Okay. I have an audience of thousands of people in different situations with problems at different parts of the process, with different embassies, different visa categories. So I'm not sure what you're talking about. So I can't tell you who the relevant people are. And also, I don't discuss a grievance with relevant people. I sue the State Department. Okay. They're not open to discussing anything with me. That's why I keep suing them. Swear to God, I don't know what I would have to get a new line of business, which I would be fine with if the State Department would give me a phone number of somebody I could talk to when there was a problem. That would just be amazing. I would be so happy. I would probably just stop suing the State Department, and instead I'd sue Elon Musk because I hate him, right? So anyway, just if you want to ask the question again and tell me who our grievance is, what group you're in, I'll give a better shot. Okay, this is a question for a friend, which is DV20. Do you think I've already got that question? Okay. So if the appeal court decided to confirm all Judge Mehta's decisions, then good luck plaintiffs in Europe will have a kind of double chance, one with good luck and one from Ray. That is almost correct, Abdu. Here's the thing, though. They had to be good luck plaintiffs that were waiting for an interview from one of the Ray embassies on September 30th, September 26th of 2021. So in other words, the Russian good luck plaintiffs who will now be waiting on an interview from Warsaw, since Moscow is closed, they will not be eligible for Ray visas because they were not waiting as of the time of the Ray order. And same with anybody else that has decided to move to Europe since September of 2021. So with that caveat, you're correct. Wow. Halfway done, 30 minutes. Okay, what if a good luck plaintiff in Europe receives a DV visa? That's great. Will that be considered a Ray quota or a good luck visa? It'll be... No one has asked that question before, and that is an interesting question. I think it'll be considered a Ray visa because if they don't consider it a Ray visa, they still have to issue the same number of visas, right? They have to issue 966 visas for Ray, I think, and 6,914 for good luck, unless Judge Mehta increases it. So they have to issue the same number of visas anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I don't know the answer to your question. It's the first time anybody's asked that question. Good question. What about a DV 2020? They're great people. Most of them are Gomez class members. Okay. Billy says, greetings, sir. Thank you for all you and your team have been doing. I am DV 2021. Okay, Billy. But you did not say you're a good luck plaintiff or a go plaintiff or waiting for a Ray eligible visa. So your DV 2021 journey may be over. Okay. DV 2021 is unique from 2020 in that the only journeys that continue are plaintiffs of good luck, plaintiffs of, which now includes Jacob Rosales, Filipovich, and a couple other cases, and also plaintiffs of Go, the Impact Team's case, and people that were waiting for interviews from the 25 embassies that the Ray order addressed. How about DV 2021? Just what I just said just then. Okay. If you're a DV 2021 selectee and you ask me about DV 2021 instead of, and you're a good luck plaintiff and you don't say you're a good luck plaintiff and you make me tell the whole story all over again about DV 2021 instead of just identifying yourself as a good luck plaintiff, come on, don't do that. Okay. I'm not saying that one of you did, but hello, Curtis. As I understand, you and other lawyers in DV argued that reservation is lawful because Judge Mehta issued order before the end of the fiscal year, right? That is one of the reasons we argued it was lawful. It's one of the reasons Judge Mehta found that it was lawful. But the biggest reason is the Circuit Court of Appeals for the District Court of Columbia found that it was lawful in the case called Al-Makrami in 2017 or 2018. So it's not like this is an argument that we made up. Okay, there was case law to support that when a judge gives certain injunctive relief, but the order hasn't been realized before the end of the fiscal year, then the judge can reserve visas for supplemental relief. Now, some of you paying attention will ask, but why would they appeal it if they lost on that issue before? Which would be a good question. Why are they doing that? I don't know. There's a little nuance, and then Al-Makrami, it wasn't exactly that. It was close to it. But that nuance is not that big a deal. So I think that the Circuit Court of Appeals will stick with Al-Makrami, and I'm hopeful that, that our victories in Gomez and Good Luck will be upheld and right. Okay. My file number is 81,000. Do you think I have a chance in Ankara? I don't. Barke, give me context. Are you a DV 2023 selectee or prior year? Or, come on. But, okay, it's 8,100, not 81,000. Okay. Also, and I hate to say this, but it's true. The U.S. Embassy Ankara in Turkey discriminates against Iranians. They that is an embassy that prioritizes the visa applicants that are the nationality of where the embassy is. We recently had that confirmed in a mandamus lawsuit for a family preference category, where they said, they're really far behind in the queue. They're in this place in line with respect to the Iranian applicants, and this place in line with respect to all the applicants. Well, the queue, the backlog in the queue, it turned out that they said that there were like 600 in line for 624 in line or something like that with Iranians, but 628 for everyone, which means there are 4 Turkish applicants that are in the backlog, and that's it. There's no other Turkish applicants. Well, that only happens one way. There's only one way that could happen, and that is if the embassy was using separate buckets. And we know that they're using separate buckets because they were instructed to do so in a cable from Secretary Blinken on November 16th, 2021. So they're using different lines. Like when you go to the grocery store, you get to choose which line you go to. Not if you go to the U.S. Embassy Ankara. They've got a different queue for each visa category, and they do another queue within those lines for nationality. So nationality is important at Ankara. It's either good or bad, depending on what your nationality is. Great point for me to speak to Iranian visa applicants. I don't care what your category is. Stop choosing Ankara. Stop choosing Abu Dhabi. These are not really embassies that are issuing immigrant visas. These are embassies that are issuing student and visitor visas. Okay. Is it right that they're doing that? No, but practically speaking, that's what's happening. So please, DV 2024 selectees, listen to me. Yerevan is a badass. It is a great embassy. It is a big embassy. It's probably one of the biggest embassies in the system, and it is designed to do volume, so they can keep up. Now, they have backlogs too, but they try to clear their backlogs. It's a novel idea at the State Department. So, Yerevan, if you're listening to me, you hear one thing, Iranians, Yerevan. Of course, if you could go to Europe or someplace like that, Barbados, El Salvador, always better. Okay. Lamina asked if a low case number in the Gomez case will help him get a visa from the 9,095 reserve visas. Halamine, never before in the history of the DV program have they issued DVs in case number order. Okay. So it's not a guarantee, but a lower number usually gives you an advantage. There's other factors that will give you disadvantage. So you have to take into account everything. It's like calculus or something. The embassy you're assigned to is a much, much bigger factor than case number, in my view. Okay, if the good luck case turns out positive, I predict, is it possible that the government lawyers continue to be the Supreme Court? Okay, no matter what happens in the Gomez and Good Luck appeal, it is possible that the opinion is that the order is appealed by the losing party, no matter who the losing party is. That is always a possibility. Now, it's up to the Supreme Court whether they would want to hear the appeal. Couple things to consider there. The Supreme Court is deciding fewer cases than they have in the past. In the past, they have only looked, I think they only look at like one out of every, I would get it wrong. I'm not going to guess. It's less than one out of every 100 cases. Okay. So I do not expect, I don't know. I don't have an expectation. I just want you to understand it doesn't have anything to do with whether or not it's positive or negative. The order can be appealed by the losing party. That's the way courts work in the U.S. But the Supreme Court does not have to entertain the appeal. Okay. Do you think Go can win their cross appeal increasing visas? Because if we adopt law reading that a visa will be reserved only before the end of the fiscal year, then no increase is possible because fiscal year is ended. Interesting fun fact, I've never read the Go appeal. It had nothing to do with my clients. So the Go cross appeal, I've not even read it. So I don't know. I don't know about the prospects of that. I know that the reasons for the Go cross appeal and our plea for Judge Mehta expanding the number of reserved visas in Good Luck summary judgment briefing were a little different, but I think they're both based on the same general things. Judge Mehta was rushed and he had some misinformation when he calculated the numbers for reserving Good Luck and Go. And since the cases are in different places procedurally, there's a different procedural posture to handle it. And so I understand why Go did the cross appeal. I've just never looked close at it. Okay. DV 2023 winners. Documentary filmmakers are hoping to talk to DV 2023 winners who are planning to move to the United States with their families this year. If you're interested in speaking with them about your experience, contact Alejandra at masa.film. See that? Alejandra at masa.film. That is great. I have talked to Alejandra and he is great. So I'm going to repeat that. If you're a DV 2023 winner and you're planning to move to the U.S. with your family this year, and you want to speak to a documentary filmmaker, maybe something you say will end up in the film, or a video or something, contact Alejandra. I cannot wait till there are movies about the DV program. I'm excited about that. Okay. Or a movie, anything. I'd be happy to see us on TV news. Okay. DV 2023 winners. Documentary. Oh, I've just read that. It's the same thing. Okay. Burke agrees in the comments. Great things you do for immigrants. I would also like to add you're a good person. Oh, thank you. I hope to get a chance to get my visa and get service from you in America. Thank you very much, Burke. I hope so too. Okay. Losker wants to ask me about a tweet from Rafael Urena, and I have decided that I'm not commenting on other people's tweets. If you want an interpretation of someone's tweets, you go to them. When I tweet something and you want to understand what I'm tweeting, you come to me. If I came to USA and we win Gomez's case, can you get me a visa there? Probably not. Okay. For a couple reasons. How you came to the USA would be very important because undocumented people cannot adjust status to an immigrant visa. The only way you could adjust status is if you have lawful status. So how you enter the USA would be important. The second thing is we've asked the government attorneys multiple times whether or not the visas in Good Luck and Gomez will be available for adjusting status inside the U.S. And the answer is we don't know. We don't know. Finally, I cornered them, and well, I think they just got tired of answering, and they said that the Department of Homeland Security and the State Department, both of them would need to make this decision, have not decided yet. And they don't think they need to decide until the outcome of the appeal. So we just don't know. But the government attorney did give me arguments for why they shouldn't. I mean, I have arguments for why they should, but they have arguments for why they shouldn't be allowed to be adjusted in the U.S. They just got one simple argument, and that was Good Luck and Gomez were not about green cards. They were about visas. That's a pretty good argument. I mean, we've got another argument in that the law says that you can get a DV in the U.S. and adjust status if that DV is available. So that's another argument. The problem is those reserved visas will be gone before anybody could do anything about those arguments. So I kind of think whatever they decide is what's going to happen, and we're not really going to get to influence it even if we try. Okay. Hadu says, can we really expect relief from a Judge Katz's that was Trump's lawyer and advisor and help him writing the Muslim ban? I don't think I have a case before that judge, and I've got lots of cases. So definitely don't have a group case before him. So, there's like over 400 federal judges in the U.S. too. So not all of them are our favorites. Not all of them are, there's good and bad. DV 2024. If you enter DV 2024 lottery, Mesa Films, remember we mentioned Mesa earlier, Alejandra, is looking for you. Film yourself checking your DV 2024 entry on May 6th, capturing your reaction, and send your video to alejandra@masa.film for an opportunity to be featured in an upcoming documentary about diversity visa lottery. See, capturing that very important moment could mean something for you. I do want to say it's a bummer if on Saturday you line up your friend to videotape you and you learn that you were not selected, and I'm sorry about that. But in case it was a moment that changed your family's future, you really, really want that on video. Okay, so you could press pause to copy down an email address if you need. Alejandro's nice guy. Mesa Films, good people. They'll take care of you. Tell your story. Okay, there's some people in America that don't like the DV program, but if they saw what we saw, what me and my team saw, they would love it. Okay, because you all are wonderful, and they just need to see that. And so that's one of the reasons I'm kind of excited about this film. Okay. DV 2021 DV hashtag. Okay. Ambassador Jeff is ignoring us as of the new year. Is Jeff Flake still the ambassador of Ankara? Oh my gosh. That explains some things. Okay. There is a critical presidential election in Turkey on the 14th of the month, and I think Jeff is waiting to see its outcome. Interesting. I hope that you get a president that's not so Erdogan. I shouldn't say that, but that's the way I feel. Okay. DV 2024 results will be published this week on Saturday. Let's hope that they will not overselect winners, giving them false hopes. You can hope that, but they will overselect winners because they have to. Oh no. Someone's trying to call me during my live. Why would someone do that? That means they're not watching. Okay. They will overselect. They have to, and the reason they have to is because some people will enter who are found ineligible. Okay. If they select them and then they can't get a visa, they won't be able to use all 55,000 visas. Maybe a different way to do this program would be, so what? And just say that's it. And I like that idea because I think when you win the lottery, you should actually have something. It shouldn't be that you win a chance at something else, right? That's just a loop. So I would like that revision, but the current Congress is not one that would do anything reasonable like that. So this way, we've got a chance at using 55,000 visas, even though it frustrates several thousand people. I realize that that's frustrating. Let's back up for a second. For those of you who are DV 2024 entrants who learn your selectees on Saturday, this is a reason that you should be careful with the DS260. Do not push submit until you're sure about your answers. Because if you go into an interview with a DS260 that has misinformation and you try to hope for the best, the State Department will shut you down and they will not forgive you. They will not let you come get a visa again. They are very unforgiving of misrepresentations. Okay. The only way to get past that is if that happens, you don't that year, is you in the future visa path, you could get a waiver if you have a family member in the US that's a qualified family member. It's just very complicated, very difficult. Never make a misrepresentation to the State Department on the DS260 or in person or by accident. Be very careful with what you tell the State Department. They care that you're being accurate. I've lost my place. Oh, 9 minutes to wrap up all these questions. Okay, chances of imposing a ban on participation in the previous course of DV 2020. Depends on when we beat the appeal and who the president is. I think that it's unlikely, but if DeSantis or Trump get in, it's a lot more likely. Now, whether that ban will be found lawful or not, that'll be interesting. And that's one of the reasons I curse Biden for this stupid appeal of Goodluck and Gomez. They are preserving the authority to throttle immigration by a future, I almost said regime, a future administration that is less tolerant, such as DeSantis or Trump. So I don't understand why Biden is carrying the water for them. I don't get that. Okay. Daisy says, chances of imposing a ban on... Just answer that. Okay. So if we adopt the judge's position in Abercrombie, it's with a Q, case telling us that a precise number of visas can be reserved only before the end of the fiscal year, then no increase is possible in DV cases. That wasn't the finding in Abercrombie, though. That was not the finding in Abercrombie. If you are personally interested in the order in Abercrombie, email me and I'll send you the order. I'm sorry. You might be able to Google and find it if you spell it a little better. Here, I'm going to type in how to spell it here. And actually, if you type in this word Abercrombie on Democracy Now's website, you can see an interview with Mr. Abercrombie, the kind of amazing person and visa applicant that is a plaintiff in that case. Okay. I typed in how to spell it so you'd spell it right. Okay. Do you think there are chances for the late Sudanese to be rejected by the Muslims decision? Then? I do not understand the question. I just know that if you're Sudanese right now, my thoughts are with you because I realize that you're facing a lot of hardship, and also it doesn't help when a U.S. embassy leaves. Okay, if you are a visa applicant that was waiting on Khartoum, you should probably give me a message. I want to talk to you. Okay. How long usually takes the appeals court to issue a decision, like the maximum amount of time in court history? I don't care what the maximum amount of time is because this isn't going to be the maximum. Someone the other day said that the maximum was, I don't even remember. I think they said 10 years, but I don't even think that was right. I don't even care because there's thousands of cases. What makes you think this is going to be the last one? Okay. We just need to accept that we don't know when it's going to be. Okay. If you don't want to accept that and you want to find out every day, when is it going to be? And you ask that every day. Well, you need to find someone else's channel to watch because I'm not going to make up numbers. I'm not going to pretend like I know when it's going to happen. I don't. And so I'm not going to say this is when it's going to happen. We don't know. Abdul says Catskis was on the Good Luck panel. Oh, yeah. I forgot that. Okay. Okay, please tell me that you're not trying to disparage a judge on the Good Luck panel as a Good Luck plaintiff. Okay. We don't do that. All three of our judges on the panel asked great questions and were very engaged with the oral arguments that were given in September. Raphael made them on behalf of our clients. And yeah, I need nothing but respect for all of our judges, please. They could be watching this. You get this, right? They're family members, they're clerks. Okay. That's related. Nobody try to contact judges. I've been getting people asking about that. No, that's prohibited. Like we're the good kids. Okay. So I don't need anybody acting like the bad kids. Okay. Luna says, hi, sir. Is it possible to write to the Court of Appeals and remind it that Gomez's summary judgment and that 3 years have passed? You think they don't have a calendar? They have a calendar. It is possible to do that. But why don't we just dismiss the case? I mean, if we're going to actually sabotage our chances, I mean, that's our only option. Either we just say, hey, we give up, or we be patient. This third option you have, that's not an option. So if you're not going to be patient, that's a problem for me. I need you to be patient. I'm not mad at you. There's not a procedure to hassle a judge, and it is a bad idea always. Okay. I agree with you about over-selection, but I mean, they can select 80,000 instead of 140. I agree. For some reason, I'm thinking the person that makes that decision is not watching this. And also, I think that decision's probably already been made. But I agree. They don't need to select 140,000 cases when there's only 55,000 visas. Yep. Okay, this is the last question. Mr. Robot, oh man, you better not be ChatGPT. Nice suit. Well, I just wanted to keep y'all engaged. Okay. Is there any chance Islamabad is going to speed up the immigrant visas because there is a very minimal SIV backlog in the U.S. Embassy Islamabad? Mr. Robot, I don't think it is a minimal SIV backlog. I mean, it exists, and also I don't have any proof that it's getting smaller. There is a myth in that community that there's only so many SIVs, and once they're issued, it's fine, and then they're going to go to immediate family and DVs. That myth has two problems. One is new SIV applications are being submitted every day. The second problem is immigrant visas are not a priority for the Biden administration, and particularly for Secretary Blinken. Okay. That's not what they're into. I want to show you all a tweet. And then I'm going to go on this tweet. You could go to Twitter and see this tweet, and then you can retweet it, and that'll make me happy. See this tweet? The Bureau of Consular Affairs is bragging because for the first time in nearly a decade, the Department of State has issued more than 1 million non-immigrant visas in a single month. Do you know how they did that? They did that because they prioritized non-immigrant visas, tourists, students, H-1B workers, over families of U.S. citizens, over diversity visa applicants, over employment visa categories for national interest, like the scientists and the doctors and the engineers that we need. So the State Department here is bragging, really, about how they're doing more to get visitors to Disneyland than they are to reunite American families. So, and then they have this cute little did you know? Yes, I know. It's hell. We all know. We're going through it. So you can tell a lot about what's happening from what the priorities are of the people that are in control. The people in control of the embassies is the U.S. Department of State's Consular Affairs, and they are celebrating because they have broken records for issuances of non-immigrant visas, and that came at the expense of immigrant visas. And I'm going to end on that. Help me amplify that message because it's a little crazy. Y'all have a great week. Good luck to the DV 2024 entrance. Hope you all win. You won't, but I hope you all do.